Hi everyone, I hope you are having a wonderful time. Today I'm going to share my experience of using this Musician Audio Pegasus 2 Arduino deck that I've been using in my system for quite a long time. This one retail for just under $1,100. It's same price as the previous generation. I did my review of original Pegasus exactly 3 years ago. So if I remember it correctly, it's on a little bit more neutral and leaner side back then. That's why when I review Musician Drago, I prefer sound signature of Drago more than original Pegasus. After that, I end up upgrading to Musician Aquarius deck for my reference deck. It was wonderful experience back then. So compared to previous generation, this Pegasus 2 looks the same. Inside, the build quality and layout pretty similar to original Pegasus, and they upgraded many things. Build quality of it, I have no complaint at all. Very impressive build quality. Pressed metal, thick sheet of a metal chassis with aluminum housing, and the toroidal transformer is mounted in the middle of the chassis. Then PCB sits in the middle, so it has gap in the bottom and the top, so it have a nice space to breathe inside the enclosure, so it's efficiently designed to control the heat. It has NOS button that you can use, but to me it makes slight different, not significantly different than other decks that I experienced. Slight differences, but no matter NOS or not, the sound quality is great. So I end up not using the NOS option in my system. Overall idle temperature, just slight warmness, nothing major, and noise non-existent, very quiet idle. And if you play in or if you even raise your gain, you won't hear background noise at all. I started off using this Pegasus 2 in streaming setup, watching movies and streaming music through Wii and Pro using soon to be reviewed SMS SHX preamplifier, pairing with iSpower 500 watts mono blocks and using two different speakers in that setup, KLH Model 3 and Musician Night 1 stand mount speakers. In that combination, I also try adding the subwoofer. It's blended really nice. Out of those two speakers, I kind of prefer KLH Model 3 pairing because in a two-way design, Model 3 totally sound like very good three-way design speakers. Then when I switch it to Night 1 from Musician Audio, mid bass and mid band is more pronounced pairing with this Pegasus 2. When I'm watching movies or streaming Netflix using optical input, there is no lag or any irregularity. Everything is precise and correctly reproduce mouth movements, and every scenes and every voice nicely matched with very precise sound reproduction. So I was very impressed with that setup. This is a sweet spot that you can have, and sound quality that can really show you what is Arduino decks are all about and why audiophiles are going crazy for it. This is the perfect example of it. After using it for a while in my streaming setup, I moved it here in my main system, connected with Accuphase E4000 integrated amplifier using right cable, the Dallas XLR cable, and OYIDE Neo Class A USB A to B cable connected from Sony HAP-Z1ES music server to this Pegasus 2. I2S HDMI cable directly connected from Eversolo DMB-A8 streamer. Using I2S and USB A to B cable, when I'm listening, streaming music or UPnP playback or anything that I try, sound quality is very much comparable. So I was kind of impressed by the way that they have their own proprietary USB setup that they included in this Pegasus 2, and overall noise floor is very good. Not to the extent of like Dynafrips Pontus 2 or those kind of higher price point, but for this price, it's very good for R2 decks that you can get. I will have a little bit of comparison for that later in the video. So pairing with this setup and using those cables and trying with these two different speakers, Pioneer TED S1EX Towers and JBL L100 Classic 75th speakers, Pegasus 2 is so enjoyable that music listening exceeded my usual selection of music, such as my reference tracks that you will see here, about 50 or so tracks. And also I keep on trying some of my favorite tracks or some of the music that I really love to hear. How would it sound in my system with this Pegasus 2, right? I went back to like 80s rocks, such as Scorpions, like Always Somewhere, or like Holiday, or those kind of music, right? Those recordings are pretty decent. And what I like about this Pegasus 2 playing those kind of music is it totally shows the placement, layer, air, space, and amount of detail that it can deliver back out to you. Plus, one of the greatest feature or my favorite strength of this R2 Pegasus 2 R2 deck is the very good stereo image compared to comparable price range other R2 decks in similar price point. This one is a little bit above head and shoulder right now. Incredibly enjoyable sound. The layering and depth is most impressive, as well as the stereo images. And when I try like 90s rap music, A Tribe Called Quest, so I was listening to Bugging Out. I mean, even if you are not big fan of hip hop or rap kind of music, you should try it. That track is recorded so good that the intro, like first a minute or so, every vocals and music and bass notes and everything only come out of the middle of my system. I am not hearing any music or vocals from any of my speakers. I was like, man, this is so impressive in terms of a stereo image alone, not including other strengths in this conversation yet. The layering and instrument separation and air is very impressive. Pairing with these two speakers, no matter what I use, is very good. My favorite part of using this Pegasus 2 is when I'm listening to acoustic music, the body of acoustic guitar or cello or violin totally reproduced realistically. In this video, sound sample that you will hear is with this S1EX Towers. When I was listening to Taylor Swift All Too Well 10 minutes version, right, the piano notes are kind of brightly recorded, for my taste at least. When I'm using other very good decks such as SMS SUX or those decks, gonna gives me a little bit of brightness that I may not like it in long run listening to that kind of music. But this Pegasus 2 totally gives me another dimensional experience, giving me body and accuracy and like a nice and rich tone with a very balanced neutral sound. It's also come with slight hint of warmness, so that is a big plus, and kudos to Musician Audio for voicing this Pegasus 2 so good that I was so impressed by it. Out of curiosity, I pulled out my Dynafrips Pontus 2 and I compare it back to back. This Pegasus 2 sound is almost as good as a Dynafrips Pontus 2 with latest firmware update, and kind of remind me of before the upgrade kind of Dina Fritz Pontus 2 sound quality, but slightly better in instrument separation, especially when I'm using NOS mode, and slightly better in bass quality and articulation in lower regions compared to the older version of Dina Fritz Pontus 2. What Dina Fritz totally shows me is how much better in overall noise control. Background noise is quieter, but for the price difference, I am not complaining, right? So that is my experience comparing with Pontus 2. And another thing is Pegasus 2 and such as Aries 12 or those kind of similar price point R2 decks. What this Pegasus 2 will give you is a little bit better tonality and musicality, especially Aries 12 can sound a bit bright time to time depending on the pairing. When I pair with this JBL L100 Classic 75th, I kind of find it to be a bit bright for my taste with Aries 12, but when I try this Pegasus 2, there is no brightness, just natural and clean and engaging musical sound that I hear back. I know someone is gonna ask me, oh, how this gonna compare to my previous review decks such as recently reviewed SMS SUX or Top-End D93, right? Those decks are great. They have a bunch of features are very useful, like sound color and filter choices and that kind of stuff. But this one is just finely fine-tune it for your music enjoying experience. You don't need to play around anything out of the box. Just give it like 50 hours or so, then it will settle down and opens up and give you much better presentation. In terms of sound staging, this one is wider than all of those Delta Sigma decks that I review. Instrument separation may not be as good as a SUX deck, but it can show how deep and how much depth that it can produce into your room. So that's the benefit of going with these kind of R2R decks. But if you want to play around or if you need sound color option, those decks may be better option for you to choose. But if you are like me, if you just want to enjoy your music, this kind of deck that give you music enjoying experience. In terms of bass or mid-range, I have no complaint at all. High frequencies are very well extended with very, very good separations and air that it can deliver, almost to the level of like a Pontus 2 kind of sound to it. The mid-range and vocals and everything, it has nice punchiness in mid-band and mid-bass area with a slight immediacy that come with it. So it gives you very good dynamically engaging sound signature, and bass quality is nice and rich and deep, but not as deep as a Pontus 2 kind of sound, but it's pretty deep and articulate notes with very good separations, perfect for the price that you are getting. So this is my kind of deck and total 5 stars deck that I can wholeheartedly recommend you to try it because the price is good, sound quality is great. I have nothing to complain but enjoy my music. So that is my experience, my friend. Highly recommend it. Thank you for watching and happy listening.
Next one is, it's called Kiss of Life. And let's hear some bass. Something heavily gave me a kiss of life, kiss of life. It gave me a kiss of life, kiss of life. Wasn't it clear from the start? Look that the sky is full of clouds. The sky is full of be bound to bring you your heart all the way and let it lay and how many times of love inside now I can say you gave me the kiss of life, kiss of life. You gave me a kiss that flies, kiss of So great. On the bass, Mr. Korigoe Keisuke-san. On the guitar, Orima Yosuke-san.